So I've arrived to Viareggio. This is on the coast, not far below Genova, trying to locate it on the map, and not far from Pisa. It's about 20 minutes in the car from the airport in Pisa, where I flew into this morning. And it's beautiful weather, but they tell me it's not generally so nice up here in October. It has been raining. It has been over the last few days, but at the moment here, the weather is absolutely stunning. It's really Roman weather, which you would get further south in October. And the reason I'm here in Viareggio, if you've followed my channel, you will know in the description of practically every video that I make, I promote an Italian mystic called Maria Valtorta. And as I've already said, this is a mystic that various popes, including Pope Francis, asked us to promote. From Pope Pius XII to Pope Francis, they asked us to promote the literary works of Maria Valtorta. And so it's interesting. We're in an interesting moment in church history of never before have we had so much access to sacred scripture, so much exegesis, and yet I would say never before has he been so truly unknown as Christ himself wants to be known in souls. But this afternoon something I just thought I'd put this note in there, kind of this blog post for today. We arrived into Viareggio. They have us in a hotel that's run by some nuns. Very beautiful hotel. Had lunch, and we had an appointment then to go to Maria Valtorta's house here in Viareggio, to the room where she wrote her book, the Poem of the Man God, or The Gospel as Revealed to Me, which is the current title. And she wrote her letters, her notebooks, all of her works written practically in that room, apart from a short period when she had to leave Viareggio during the early part of her writings because of the war. So went into the house that is owned by the editorial centre, the Valtortian editorial centre. Went into the house, which is basically 2 rooms below, 2 rooms above, nothing. A beautiful house. It's a beautiful house, but it's a very, very simple house. And in that room, it's kind of turned into a museum today, where you have the bed where she wrote. If you ever look up a photo of Maria Valtorta, you see her sitting on a bed, maybe holding a book or a pen. Those are the images that we have of her. And we were there for an hour. Some of the speakers for tomorrow's conference, and myself. And Anna, who was just giving us kind of a tour of the room. Really, we spent most of the time in the room, just explaining the different artifacts that were there in the room, the bed, a little bit some stories from the life of Maria di Ciotti, the lady that would have helped Maria Valtorta after her mother died, and a lot of the stories I had known. But one story, and this is really what I want to talk about today. One story that I wanted to kind of focus in on was the Pope Pius XII apostolic blessing photo that was in that room. Many people know that many people get apostolic blessings from the Holy Father, and Maria Valtorta had an apostolic blessing that was sent to her in the early 1940s, so long before she even started writing, because Maria Valtorta's work starts in 1943, She writes her biography in the early part of 1943, and on the 23rd of April 1943, that's when she starts to get dictations, and her work takes off after there, and kind of from 1943 up to basically mid-50s, those 12 years, we have the various writings of Maria Valtorta. Of course, her epic work, she writes from 44, 45, 46, and then 47, over 40 months. So we have that work, but all of her writings were written in that room, and in that room there is today still the apostolic blessing of Pope Pius XII that was sent to her. This blessing was is still in a frame with glass on it. And on the eve of her death, of Maria Valtorta's death, which we celebrate the anniversary of her death is this Sunday. On the eve of her death, Maria de Ciotti, who was sleeping in another bed in the same room, keeping her company as she was really dying, she hears a noise, a crack in the room. She didn't go up and turn on the light, because the only light that was in the room was this little Sacred Heart light that was above the door. The next morning, she finds Maria Valtorta is very ill. They come and give her extreme unction, and as soon as she receives extreme unction, she dies. But then later she notices the cracked glass on the apostolic blessing of Pope Pius XII. And all during Maria Valtorta's life, when somebody was dying that was dear to her, things will break. And this is a very interesting coincidence, because I know of another family in Ireland that explained the same thing, that things would break when somebody had died or something like that. So I just thought it was interesting, this phenomenon. But I just thought it was just interesting that just before Maria Valtorta's death, that the Pope who had promoted her, Pope Pius XII, his blessing, there is this sign on his blessing, kind of preempting her own death in a way. And there's a need really at the moment to make sure that her writings are known to the world. This is a mission that it will transform so many lives. It's practically on this kind of topic that I want to talk tomorrow. I don't travel to give talks, because I usually don't have the time, and it takes time to travel. But for Maria Valtorta, on this conference, I will come and speak on it, because it's such an important topic for our time. And these writings are a gold mine of wealth that will strengthen your spiritual life. In a time of confusion, in a time when people are looking for direction, to know Christ and to know Christ. Imagine that. We are called to know Him on a level that is above everything else. We're called to union with God. And in the writings of Maria Valtorta, we see kind of this catalyst of Christ revealing Himself in a very intimate way, trying to capture our mind, our attention, our heart. And it's a mission that is so badly needed. These are writings that are so badly needed in the church. So we will take up the challenge that Pope Francis gave us to go out avanti and to promote and to make known the literary works of Maria Valtorta. It's not just one pope that has asked this to be done. We have Pius XII, who asked them to be published as well, because these writings have a wealth of scientific data. The science just proves the veracity of her works, but it's the message that is most important, and it is the mystical transformation that Christ wants to work via these works that is most important. St. Teresa of Avila, in her autobiography, she speaks about the many books that she read. She didn't read the Bible because she couldn't. She didn't know Latin, and there was no translation of the Bible for her to read. But she would have read about Christ in the works of other writers. She would have been inspired in the preaching of priest at Mass. What couldn't have happened if she had read this work which has been poured out into the church for our time? How would she have viewed it? How would she have been transformed? So there is this need now for us to promote these works, because I do think that so many people will be transformed by them, and I'm looking forward to the conference tomorrow. I'll hope to do a video in Maria Valtorta's house and go to her tomb in the Basilica in Florence on Sunday, the day of her death, the anniversary of her death. But I just thought to kind of put this on the record to try and hopefully inspire people to read her works, because I know in the English-speaking world there are many that have read her works, but she is truly a mystic for our time. Anyway, greetings from Viareggio. Beautiful weather. The pre-alpine mountains here. It's a beautiful place to visit. If I'd have known it was going to be so warm, I would have brought some summer clothes, but I suppose you don't know with the weather in northern Italy. And if you're ever up this side of Italy, I do recommend you visit Cinque Terre, the 5 lands, as they call them. It's a beautiful place to visit. You can walk it in a day or 2 days, and there's lots to see this side of Italy. Anyway, God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.